Hey everybody, Jay and Manion here at the NPC Photo Gym, and I'm here with IFBB Bikini Pro,
Jourdanne Lee.
And we're here to film her road to the Arnold. You were just in the Arnold a few months ago.
I was.
Yes. So is this Arnold going to be redemption for the last Arnold?
111%, absolutely. This is redemption time. Yes.
So this is nothing that we haven't talked to her about before. We said when she walked out on stage in Columbus, it just didn't look like her.
Agreed.
What was going through your head then? Is it first time there, or just the whole aura of the thing, or what was that? Or don't you know?
I had so many nerves. It took a while reflecting after to figure out exactly like what the heck was going on. And I think I over-prepared so much.
Mentally? Like
from a mental perspective,
yeah.
That when I came out on stage, I looked very like subdued, like over-relaxed.
Subdued and a little bit stiff.
And stiff, like I wasn't like loose, I wasn't myself.
You didn't have your swagger.
My swagger, my bubble, my outgoingness,
right.
That just wasn't there because I think I got like so locked in, like, okay, just don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. And it was like way too calm that it came off as like just not me. And you can instantly tell, like the minute you can instantly tell. And then of course, so like that mental, and then you see like how huge the crowd is, how big the ballroom is. And then the other nerves come in and you're like, oh crap.
And unlike the Olympia, the Arnold, the seats are really close to the stage.
They're very close.
Like you can see right up all the way to the judges, right? Because
yes.
of the way the lights hit.
Yeah, you can. It's very close. And it was of course the first one, so those first timer nerves and just like the new environment and the new surrounding versus, when like, doing the Olympia before, you kind of like know the drill and like
right.
how the day goes. So the newness of the Arnold debut and just kind of like learning as I go along and then
right.
trying to focus. So all of those things combined translated into somebody that just wasn't the usual
right.
that we all see.
Yeah.
So this is going to be redemption.
Yeah, I mean, when you came out on the Olympia stage, that was you.
Yeah, that was definitely...
2 weeks later.
I still had some more nerves.
But it wasn't like, listen, no offense, anything was better than what we saw in Columbus.
I'd have to agree. I would have to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, since the Olympia, you've gone on and won a couple of contests. Mm-hmm. You're already qualified for this year's Olympia.
Yes.
Is that a weight off your shoulder?
That definitely... It brings a little bit of, it lessens the pressure just a little bit because this way I can focus on getting fuller and making those tweaks and those improvements instead of qualifying later in the year. So I've already gotten that out of the way. So from
right.
a mental perspective, that box is checked. Now it's okay. How can we improve this physique and how can we just continue to fine tune the posing and just go from there.
Right.
So the mistake that I made last year going into the Arnold was I didn't do any warm-ups. And I need that. For me to like get those nerves out,
right.
iron out those kinks, take the judges' feedback and give myself just a little bit more time to make those changes.
So you didn't get your warm-up out on the boat?
That was a different kind of warm-up. That was a different kind of warm-up.
So I don't know if I've said this, but she knows. All the women on the curly hair shoot, except for Ethel, had all applied for the Arnold, and they're all like, "Oh, I really hope I make." I'm listening to this all day, and I'm like, I said to Debbie, I go, "If it sounds like I'm going to slip," because I already knew who they had asked. They were at this point, they were just trying to add a couple of more men's pro bodybuilding, right?
Yeah.
I go, punch me, kick me, whatever you got to do, so that I don't. I got to give myself credit being on that boat for 9 hours, and I didn't slip.
With how many mini Debbies?
Right, 7.
Exactly. You did a good job. You were lip sealed tight.
And I'm just there talking. I'm like,
yeah. Yep. Just grinning away in your head.
I'm like, come on, let's take more pictures, just to divert it.
Yeah.
But this was all day they were talking about this, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is torture for me.
Yeah.
I played it off well.
You played it off pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I give you credit.
Yeah. So yeah, there was, and at the same time, I'm thinking of the women on the boat that I knew were not invited. Mm-hmm. So when I'm looking at them and they're talking about it too, and in my head I'm like, oh, geez.
Ouch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I also think the funny thing was I had texted all of you whenever they made the announcement on an away group text away from the full curly hair shoot. And then Jazzy pops in like 2 hours later. What's everyone all excited about? Remember?
Right.
And it was like, go back to the top of this thread, right?
Yeah, a little late there, Jazz. Yeah, that was exciting though. That was super, super fun, and it was a cool moment that a few of us were able to bond on that trip, and then go to the Arnold together. That was really nice.
So, to this day, and someone even brought it up to me at our NPC national meeting last week in Pittsburgh, about the curly hair shoot on the boat, the picture at the end of the boat, where you're all literally hanging out for dear life to that little line.
Yeah.
And Debbie's explaining, you have to understand the boat was moving. It wasn't still. The boat was actually moving ahead.
Yes.
And that little thing that they're holding on to, that's it.
That's it.
I said, Brina was the smartest one. She grabbed that pole at the end.
Yeah.
She had the most. She was the most secure of all of you.
She was the most secure. We were all kind of like hanging on by a thread, and I think that was right before we hit the bad water.
Yes.
Thank God we took that photo before that happened, because when we were done and we went downstairs, that's when that rough water just hit.
Yes, as we were going further out Biscayne Bay into the ocean.
And that took us all out.
And you can see, if you look at all of them, how their hair is moving. It's blowing backwards. It's not from it's from the boat. It's the wind from the boat.
Right. Definitely. So, yeah. But that photo came out, and it was an awesome photo.
So here we are in February of 2022, and people are still talking about the first weekend of June of 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a shoot to remember.
Yes. So, if you don't know, Jourdanne has been appointed the gatekeeper for the curly hair shoot.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? That means if I've had other groups, like the Wellness, come up to me and say, hey, we'd like to do a curly hair shoot on a boat too. And Debbie goes, well, you're going to have to talk to Jourdanne about that. So she was anointed with that.
Now, to the Wellness ladies, I haven't seen enough of you guys with curly hair. I'm trying to rack my brain. Who from Wellness has curly hair? So let's see it. We want to see your beautiful curls on stage, not off stage, but on stage.
Right.
So let's see what y'all Wellness ladies got. Let's see if your big curls can match your big glutes and your big thighs. Let's see it. Let's see it. Come on.
What you have to remember is that her and a couple others were dancing backstage at the Bikini Olympia in 2019, saying we need to do a curly hair girl shoot.
Yeah.
That's where whole thing was born. 2019.
Yeah. We're down 2022.
Yeah.
So.
Well, 2020 we had to wait through that.
We did. Yeah.
But I've said I think the 2020 did us a favor because we had a nice group. We had a bigger group than we probably would have originally.
Yeah, definitely gave us a chance to get more.
Because some of those women weren't even pros at that point.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that was definitely a shoot to remember. I said I've said it to you because you've jinxed me in text messages that there's not going to be a better shoot.
Yeah, I said that. It's true. It's true. It's going to be a tough act to follow.
I said to Debbie, I go, the run of photo shoots we did leading up to that, going back to starting, as you see on the wall, the photo shoot with Janet and Ettela.
Yes.
And that whole string of with the Wellness shoot in Pittsburgh and everything, leading up to that, I said, you don't get like 5 or 6 photo shoots in a row with groups of people that are that good. And the curly hair was like the pinnacle. Right? I said, I kind of backed myself into a corner.
It was a good group. And the timing in which we did it, we all were like kind of in the middle of prep, so we still had some fullness, we still had all the curves.
As she kept saying on the boat, that everybody was juicy.
Yeah, we were all juicy. It was great. It couldn't have been more perfect. It really was just awesome.
And I've told people, and I know that some of you have said this, and I've seen them in posts and stuff, that I told them not to diet for the shoot.
Yeah.
That we wanted real curves.
Yeah, that was made clear. There needed to be some curves there because bikini, don't sleep on us. We got a little something. Yeah.
So, and I do this for a lot of even the photo shoots we do after the Olympia. We tell the women, eat. Go to the banquet and eat. Fill up a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we don't want the drawn in faces, and you want some curves.
Yeah.
I remember when we were doing the Italian girl shoot in 2018. Literally everybody, I've even had judges going, "You're not making them diet, are you?" I'm like, "No." You want to see those Italian curves.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
And everyone's like, okay. I'm like, yeah, don't worry. I said, we're on that.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of you were surprised when we sent that out saying, don't diet for this.
Yeah. So some of us definitely.
It wasn't like they went out and ate junk food. I mean, they were just what they were normally in their off season.
Yeah. Yeah. We just, had to just pace the prep timing with the photo shoot timing. But it ended up working out perfectly.
Yeah, especially at the end of the shoot, when we were talking about someone that put that post up about wellness being better than bikini, and somebody decides to step out on the dock and smack their booty, saying how
bikini is not dead. It's not. It's not. I stand by that.
Worth the wait, though.
Yeah.
Worth
Yes.
every
We got
shot.
some fire coming.
Yes.
Lots of it.
And
All
lots
right.
of ass. Can I say that?
Sure.
Ass.
I think you already said it, so it's fine.
I thought that meant assume
No,
the
wait,
position.
wait.
I was ready.
So you're saying that is that bikini ass or is that wellness ass? Because there's a little debate going on there, right?
Bikini is not dead. We got some grade A beef too, ladies. Grade A beef. Yeah.
Just wanted to get that out there, right?
Yeah. Want to get it out there.
Just in
Yeah.
case anyone was confused.
Right.
We are still here, very much and alive. Curls and ass and all.
I know in 2020, was it 2024?
Yeah.
May.
We've said this the last time too. We have a running bet that we're going to be standing here for the 2024 Pittsburgh Pro in May of 2024. I said by 2024 that wellness will be the most dominant women's division in the NPC Worldwide and IFBB Pro League. She says no. A lot of people say no. I actually have a bet with my father and Tyler on this, who are erring on your side.
I stand by it. I strongly feel.
It's interesting. Almost everybody stands on this side.
Now, I'm not doubting that wellness is going to come out swinging with strong numbers. I do think that will happen in the future. I think that division will continue to grow. However, bikini is always going to be, for me at least,
Well, listen,
the most.
without bikini and let's say figure, there wouldn't be wellness.
Right.
You have those competitors that they were stuck in between. Too big for bikini, too small for figure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And most of them, as we talked about, were athletes their entire life.
Right. And
Soccer mainly.
Yeah, soccer and you think you were telling me last
Yeah,
time
for
volleyball.
yeah.
Some of the Brazilians, right?
Yeah, the taller ones.
But the other thing too, which is it's cool to see some women from other divisions sizing down in certain areas. So like some women's physique are maybe completely sizing down on their upper
Yes.
body, but they already have that lower body built up. So
Right.
they're in the wellness. We're seeing that with figure as well too. So.
Well, that's like Cassandra Gillis qualified to turn pro in figure. And then she moves over.
Yeah, right. So it definitely opens up more opportunity for women,
Right.
which is cool too.
Yeah, in my wellness basically call-out video for the Pittsburgh Pro, I talked about Victoria Puente's NPC. Well, now that she qualified at nationals to turn pro in wellness, but she approached me at a contest in 2019. I never met her, and she was like, "I'm having problems. I don't fit into figure. I can't fit into bikini. I played soccer my entire life," and I'm like, I felt like I was talking to Cassie, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Look," and she's like, "Show me your legs," and I'm like, "We have the division coming for you."
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is nice.
And she from that point, she took 2 years to make the transition over, and she didn't start competing until 2021.
Which was very smart of her. I will
I think
say.
2020 helped her too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking that time off is really important, even in other divisions, just so
Right.
you can give your body that.
Yeah,
time
when
to
she stepped, when I saw her step on stage, she was in San Antonio, the NPC contest. I could see that she had made the transition pretty well, and then a little bit later, then she did the Battle of Texas, which she won that, and then 2 weeks later, she goes and wins her class at the Nationals.
Yeah, which is that was a good strategy on her.
Yes.
end.
So, all right, so fueling this bikini versus wellness thing, as you know, I've said in the videos, in both videos about Pittsburgh Pro Bikini and Pittsburgh Pro Wellness, that wellness, there was more wellness at Pittsburgh Pro last year than there was Pro Bikini. Pro Bikini was always our strongest and biggest division. We've had anywhere from 30 to 47 pros, bikini pros at the Pittsburgh Pro on stage.
Yep.
Last year there was 24, wellness beat it by 1 at 25. I've set the bar at 30 for wellness. Can we get 31 for bikini?
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tight race right there. That's gonna be a tight race.
Listen, I talk about this all the time. Since the very first Pittsburgh Pro Bikini in 2010, that Natalia Mello won, who went on to win the Bikini Olympia, every Bikini Olympia champion has competed in Pittsburgh except for Nicole Negroni. Okay? So, I mean, there's a history there. In the Pittsburgh Pro, in general, of all the divisions, through this year, 15 of them have competed in Pittsburgh and went on to win the Olympia. Like Sid Gillen won the Pittsburgh Pro, figure. Chris Bumstead won the Pittsburgh Classic Physique.
Yeah.
Okay? And the wellness, names in the wellness, you know, there's so many of them that, you know, did good. There's 8 of them that went from Pittsburgh Pro to qualify for the Olympia.
Yeah.
And I said, nothing against any of the other contests. There's no other contest that sent 8 pros to the Wellness Olympia.
Yeah.
That was because there was 20 on stage, so you have almost half of them that competed in Pittsburgh Pro. But so many of the Pittsburgh Pro Bikini, I mean, there's more of a history between Pittsburgh Pro Bikini and the Bikini Olympia. If you look at who's won them, you know, and, you know, from Ashley to Angelica to Isa, and, you know, I know Ashley didn't win it until last year. Like I told people, I go, when Ashley was winning her last 2 Olympias, when she won her 3, she couldn't win the Pittsburgh Pro Bikini. She got beat by Yasai Robles and India Paulino. So, and that's why I gave her a little nudge last year,
Yeah.
so she can add that to her list.
Lots of history behind that show, for
Right.
sure. Yeah.
So, of course, the inevitable question comes up.
What's the question, JM?
Are you going to be part of the Pittsburgh Pro Bikini this year?
We will see. We will see.
That's an unacceptable
One
answer.
step at a time. One step at a time. Let's get through the Arnold first, and kind of see how we're feeling and.
Well, I'll make you the same deal. We had Lenny Wicks here a couple weeks ago. He's in Classic Physique, okay? And he was originally from Pittsburgh, but he lives in Columbus now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're not going to compete in your hometown? He's like, well, I need to see what happens at the Arnold. I go, I'll make you a deal. I said, I'll give you 6 steps off stage. I'm not counting the steps. When you actually hit the floor, I'll give you 6 steps before I ask you again, backstage.
At the Arnold?
Yeah,
Is that what we're doing?
yeah.
Okay.
And Tyler's like, you know, my dad's literally going to count your steps.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right.
All right, 6 steps.
6 steps in 2 weeks. 2.5. 2 and a couple days.
Are you nervous now?
No.
Because you're going to come down those steps and see me. There's 2 ways you can go off stage. She could try to walk straight or she could turn this way. If you've been backstage, those of you know exactly what I'm saying.
Right.
So either way, I'll still cut her off at the pass.
Yeah. There's going to be no running from that.
No.
No. All right. 2 weeks. 6 steps.
6 steps on the ground. I'm not counting the actual steps.
Right.
And Lenny's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, really.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And JM forgets nothing. FYI, guys. Nothing. You got an encyclopedia for memory. Yep.
Well, listen, it would be come to Pittsburgh Pro, and I know several of the competitors that are doing it. Come in and win that. I mean, everybody that's won the Pittsburgh Pro has really gone on to do quite well.
Yeah, that is true. That is fact.
Right.
Yep.
You know, and you know, if you just go back and you look at everybody, now you saw India Paulino's making a comeback. So, as she told me, she's throwing the gauntlet down. Okay, that she's going to be the first 3-time Pittsburgh Pro Bikini champion.
Oh, does that mean she's doing Pittsburgh?
I'm assuming it does.
All right. All right. Well, that's definitely a great show. Super competitive show to do. And a good one to choose for a comeback.
Well, no, she's doing her comeback at Wasatch Warrior.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, but
okay. All right. So
That's 3 weeks.
Getting the engine warm first.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, I like the competitiveness with everybody.
Totally. For sure.
You know?
It's healthy.
Listen, and if you're not coming back to win, why else would she come back? You know. But this is what I tell people in both the pro and the amateur: win or not, you get the best critiques and feedback.
Got it.
I'm gonna just be seeing you all weekend, and I'm gonna be doing like this,
I know it's coming. Yeah.
So, what else have you been doing?
Oh boy, let's see, what have I been doing?
No, I thought you were moving.
I did. I've moved 4 times in the last 8 weeks.
Okay.
4 times, and
Where are you now?
I'm still in Atlanta.
I thought you were moving out of Atlanta.
I was, and then that changed. I know. So I moved 4 times in the last 8 weeks. I'm finally settled now, which is just in time to finish out this prep for the Arnold, thank goodness. Atlanta, one of the great things about Atlanta is I can fly anywhere from Atlanta, almost direct, which is also one of the draws and one of the reasons why I was like, let me just stay. Because with work stuff and fitness stuff and competing and coaching, it's just easier for me to get on a flight and then just go. So Florida definitely did seem attractive. However, Atlanta is where we are for now. So,
All right.
yeah, I'm finally settled.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare, but here we are.
Yeah. Well, we saw each other, about a week and a half ago at the San Antonio seminar.
Yeah, and the week before at the NPC Women's Seminar, which is really cool.
Yes.
Cool way to kind of kickstart the year with not as much pressure, but still come together with everyone.
I really liked whenever Sandy had all of you pro bikini there and just showing how to pose and everything, and just all of you standing there kind of like waiting. It's just like, it was cool to see everybody, from, Ashley and Janet, all the way through. Yeah. And then Etla leading all of you.
Totally.
In the posing and stuff.
Yeah, it was nice. It's nice for us to come together and give back. And the thing about all of us being, lined up, doing a demonstration for the posing, but the cool thing was you could see how different all of our structures are. And our
which is what Sandy was trying to explain, that not everybody needs to look like the current Olympia champion to win, because Jen was there too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so you literally had 3 bikini Olympia champions who looked nothing alike.
Right. And my years competing, the thing that I've learned about feedback, especially in bikini, is it is so individualized to each specific athlete. So, a lot of the times and often with the less experienced competitors, you'll hear things like, oh, but, my physique was better or this or that, and that's fine. But on that day, a person's physique could have been their absolute best.
Right.
They maximized their best, and they came and they brought it that day. So, in bikini, we have so many different shapes and structures and styles and stuff like that. But the most important thing is working on maximizing our own potential and bringing our own best. Because my feedback is going to be different than another athlete's feedback because I'm different. My body's different.
Right.
Hold my muscle differently, carry my fat differently, pose a little bit differently. So it's definitely important to remember maximizing your own potential.
So one of the pet peeves I see on social media all the time, and as a coach, tell me if this is something that's a pet peeve of yours, is when a competitor takes an individual picture of themselves and puts it next to the person that won their class. Mm-hmm. Well, if you weren't compared to them in a lineup, just you may have picked where they were in a transition pose, and you're putting your best picture next to them.
Definitely.
That's not a true representation.
Right. That's not going to be a true representation. The best representation is to put your own photos side by side to each other and critique your own self.
Take a picture of you from your previous contest.
Yeah, from your previous contest to your current contest, and look at the changes that you've made.
Or put a picture of you in the comparison lineup that you were in.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a more accurate way to kind of, look at where do I stand in comparison, And of course, there's a standard of what the judges are looking for that we have a guide to follow. But again, it's as it pertains to you.
Right.
So I definitely always tell my athletes, we got to focus on bringing your best and improving from there. And then, that whole kind of putting up pictures side by side, you with a stranger, you're not the judge. That's why we have a complete judging panel who does this for a living, So it's not really our place to critique ourselves, especially publicly, with someone else.
And it's not, and it's not just, I'm not just singling out bikini competitors. I see men bodybuilders, men's classic physique guys, men's physique guys doing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
In every division. I saw a bunch of people from the Olympia throwing their picture next to Francielli's. Well, that's not fair. You weren't in that call out with her.
Yeah.
How do you, and you could resize where you look like this big in the picture and Francielli looks this big.
Yeah.
You know?
And then the other thing too with photos is, you know, it's also not a fair assessment if your photo is not taken on the same stage with the same light, the same competition, the same time.
Right.
So there's also kind of like, that's not really accurate. So.
Yeah.
And what are you comparing for? She's the best in the world.
Right.
She did that work. She did that work to get there and
Right.
earn that title.
That's like, if you remember after Janet won, Tyler put out that statement that we don't want you to look like Janet. We want you to look like the best of yourself that falls within the guidelines.
Yeah. He posted, I believe, a photo, was it the 2020 Olympia?
Yeah.
Janet, Attila, and Jen, all top 3.
Right.
With insanely different structures, but those 3 women maximized their potential for their physique,
Right.
which is why they were awarded 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So just to go show, that's an actual perfect example, and that's, I'm sure, why he posted it, to show,
Right.
hey, they're all different.
Well, he said he was literally getting people like emailing him, competitors saying, well, I'm not as tall as Janet, I'm not built like Janet. And he's like, well, you don't need to be,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. And then if you look at Janet's Olympias from year to year to year to year, every year she's progressed.
Yeah.
And she had a very big progression from the last Olympia to the Olympia that she actually won. Like, she came out and everyone was blown away at the changes that she made.
Right.
And that was taken notice, and that's, you know, why she was rewarded. So just, going back to maximizing out your own potential on what
Right.
you can do is really where it's at.
Now, you had some success last year with a lot of your clients, I saw, especially at the USA.
Yeah, last year was, how many did we have go pro last, or did I have go pro last year? 2 in 2021, and then 2020 I had 1 that won the overall. So.
But you had a lot winning awards too. I remember when they were coming off stage.
Oh, so a pretty cool story, really, really cool story. So at the North Americans this year, I was doing the interviews.
Yeah.
And I was interviewing with one of the overalls for Masters, I believe. And mid-interview, one of my athletes won her pro card, and I like paused and stopped during the interview because I was like, she just won, and I was so excited. And luckily the lady that was interviewing me, she was so sweet about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really cool moment, you know, being
Yeah.
able to do what I love, you know, do the interviews and then hear one of my athletes winning. So
Right.
that was a really neat moment. And here in Pittsburgh, and I
Yeah.
won my pro card here in Pittsburgh back in 2017 at the North Americans. So that was super cool. That was super cool.
That's when she had straight hair.
I did. I did. You see how that face changed so quickly? I did.
You remember how she said, I don't forget anything?
Yeah, no, my hair was straight. It wasn't like these like big like curls, not curly like natural curls, but like heat style curls and purple suit. Completely different than now.
It was curling iron curls.
It was curling iron curls. Yeah, really like the just washed fresh curls.
Yes. As I said, your get out of bed hair.
Get out of bed hair. Yeah. So yeah, we did the straight hair for a couple competitions, a couple shows. That was it, and then we went.
So it seems that since a lot of the competitors decided to go to their natural curly hair, they've had a lot of success.
Yes.
A lot of wins and different things.
Yep.
And at the seminar we were at
Yeah.
in San Antonio, somebody had asked Sandy, is it true that the judges don't like the competitors to have curly hair? And Sandy actually started laughing.
Right.
And we're looking all at you.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. You know, it's what makes you feel most comfortable. Because when you're comfortable on stage, that's going to exude confidence. And when you're confident, you're going to have a better performance. You're going to pose better. You're going to look
Right.
better. You're just going to bring that personality, and the judges are going to take note of that.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I mean, Jen Dory. I mean, come on.
I mean, Jen, she's our current Miss Bikini International and our current Miss Bikini Olympia, and her hair is very curly. So, you know, that's not necessarily true. The judges want you to feel your best. And if that's with your hair natural, then wear it natural. If that's with your hair straight, then
You feel better with your natural hair,
I
right?
feel great. I feel confidence wearing my own hair. It's fun. I know it's me. It reflects my personality as well.
You know, that's just like we had brought up about Jazzy before. I mean, I knew her since she turned pro at junior nationals and stuff, but she had straight hair.
Yeah.
She decides to let her hair go curly.
Yeah.
And then she starts winning pro contests, qualifying for the Olympia.
Yeah, that's another one. She was more comfortable with her
Right.
own hair. And, you know, not to say like we all had that moment where we were unsure and, you know, we didn't wear our hair at one point because we were just unsure of what the feedback would be. You know, but it turns out that, you know, the judges just want us to be us, who we are and comfortable.
Right. I say that's like with Jen Dory. I remember opening up my Instagram one day and there was a post at the top of the feed and she had curly hair. And I was showing Debbie and Debbie was like, what is that? So Jen tells a story a little different than I remember it, but I'm sure it's true, that I literally called her, that I didn't even say hello, that I just go, hey, is that your get out of bed hair? And she's like, what are you talking about? I go, on Instagram. She goes, I just posted that. And I go, well, I saw it. And she's like, yeah. And Debbie was in the background going, well, what are you doing? Why are you straightening your hair? Well, I'm not sure. And, and Debbie's like, you should try for the next contest. And Debbie's like, well, I don't know why. She goes, it's not doing you any good. It's not like you've won anything with all that straight hair. I mean, you turned pro, but you haven't won a pro contest yet.
Yeah.
So she literally did the next contest with straight hair.
Yeah.
She didn't win.
Yeah.
She goes, that's it. I'm going curly.
Right.
And then look where she is now.
Yep. And now she is best in the world.
Right.
Yeah. With
So-
her hair naturally.
Although I swear I said hello to her, but Jen will swear up and down. I didn't. I just went right to the point.
Cut to the chase.
But I mean, yeah, the curly hair, that was a funny question.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
everybody looked right at you.
Right.
But I think from what all of you have said, from going to straightening your hair, you feel more comfortable on stage, right?
Yes, I feel so comfortable.
Feel like you.
Feel like me. Like this is me. Like maximizing my own version of myself.
Like I don't think I could even look at you with straight hair again.
You probably would just pass me by.
No, but I'm just saying, I just can't even picture it. I remember when you had it, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It was personally for me. It's not as fun. And the curls are fun. You know.
It's you.
It's me. Yeah.
It's you. So, anyways, do you want to give a shout out to anybody here?
Yes, of course. I would love to give a shout out to my entire Fit Body Fusion family. You guys are awesome, and we're gonna have a great 2022 season. And Jamie and Greg, I know you guys couldn't be here today, but you are with us in spirit. And of course,
Now, if anybody wants to contact you for coaching,
oh yes, of course, yeah. You can contact me through fitbodyfusion.com. We have a new website that's actually pretty sharp and pretty easy to navigate. So you can find me there or my Instagram, JOURDANNE__. So I look forward to hearing from you guys, seeing you guys this season. Our interviews are going to be fun stuff, right?
Yes.
We're kicking off here. Well, we've already kicked off the 2022 season, right?
Yes.
With our seminars. So here we are.
yeah, the Vegas seminar, then the
San Antonio.
San Antonio seminar, yes.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys in Ohio.
Yes. All right, so JM,
Jourdanne Lee.
like she said, we'll see you in Columbus at the Arnold.
See you in Columbus.